a high-value woman. Cook, clean, do the dishes, make 7 figures, take care of the kids. Actually, working moms are selfish. Be a stay-at-home mom. But stay-at-home moms are lazy, right? Women who don't want to work are gold diggers, but women who do are not tapping into their feminine energy enough. These are the messages that we're hearing every single day, whether it be from the media, from our families, from our friends, and it puts unrealistic and confusing standards onto women as a whole, and it sets us back in the workplace. I remember when I was 6 months pregnant, sitting at my open house at my little $365,000 listing, looking out the window thinking, how the hell am I gonna do this? I was so nauseous, throwing up multiple times a day, nauseous even at the smell of water, and I thought, how am I gonna balance a career and a new child on the way, fast approaching? What was I gonna do? Was I even ready for all of this? I thought back to the women in my life who have inspired me. I feel super fortunate that I have people in my life that are amazing examples of women in business. No one had shown up at my open house that day, so I threw my AirPods in and popped in a podcast. I thought, let me learn a little bit about the wage gap and how it will actually affect my business. I learned that even if we changed pay between men and women within companies, as a whole, women are held back so significantly by having children that it will not even move the needle as much as we need it to. So let's dive into how we can actually strengthen our abilities as women and hone in on them and show how we can actually be amazing businesswomen, amazing doctors, incredible CEOs and engineers, because we actually have unique capabilities as women that help us in the career space. We just have to know about them, learn about them, identify them, and then lead with them in our day-to-day lives. I was so nervous that I would be losing everything that I worked so hard to achieve in the process of building a family. I used to look up to images of Samantha from Sex and the City or Taraji P. Henson from Girls Trip in their sky-high, amazing offices with floor-to-ceiling windows, dressed the part, looking incredible, and just being super powerful. And that was exactly what I visualized for my life and what I wanted in my life. But still, with having a child, how was I gonna even get there? 103 years ago, we as women gained the right to vote. And the reason for that is primarily due to Carrie Chapman Catt. She worked for the women's suffrage movement in the 1900s and actually worked for 20 years as the president to give us the right to vote, to get that amendment passed within the Constitution that has given us the right to vote. Let's look at the statistics from that time compared to now as far as the wage gap is concerned. For women as a whole, we've grown from 55% to 84% as far as the wage gap. So it's only 16% difference between men and women as a whole. However, if you zoom in, you'll see that Hispanic women are still at 65%. That's only 10% increase since 103 years ago. For Black women, it's 70%. That's not as much progress as you would assume based on how much we've worked towards this effort and how much Carrie Chapman Catt has worked to help us and put so much energy and so much passion into giving us rights to make it equal between men and women. But that's the thing too. This is not a men against women issue. This is a human issue, and we need to work as a united front to help women progress in the workplace. Dual income households are the norm. So why are we acting like women can just do the child work and have a job and do this and do that and have 15 different hats on but make less? It doesn't make sense, and the fact that millions of people lost their jobs over the last 3 years and have had to work from home while taking care of their kids because they don't have nannies, they haven't had daycare that can help them. We have to structure things differently to make it so that women can shine in the business world. We can't go back to where we were in the 1900s. We need to progress. So let's talk about how we're gonna do that. As I said, I'm fortunate enough to have seen a lot of successful women in my upbringing. My mom bought her first home when she was 23. She was a mortgage broker and worked her way up to President's Club within her company. She worked really, really hard and faced far worse discrimination as far as her gender is concerned than I ever have. People always questioned, why she was working there, why she was making so much money. Was she sleeping with the boss? Was it because she was pretty? Conversely, she actually met my dad while taking his loan application. He had moved here from Uruguay in South America when he was 13, joined the Air Force, and was driving a truck when they met. She actually brought him with her to their President's Club trip in Hawaii, and he got to see firsthand how profitable he could be if he did the same thing. She taught him the business and he flourished. I was able to see firsthand how a woman can take matters into their own hands and create a career for themselves and be self-sufficient. And it doesn't have to be poor me, it's a struggle. My mom always went into it with gratitude, that she had the ability to work, that she felt grateful that she could do something she was passionate about and work every day towards something that was going to create stability for herself. Only recently has my mom shared some of the negative aspects of working in that industry, but only because I've asked. She didn't complain about it, she just did it. Actually, my mom constantly reiterated to me that having a career is actually a blessing. It's a positive outlet for us to express our creativity, our power, and get that anxious energy out. I've also sought inspiration in my grandma and aunt. They opened an upholstery shop in Hollywood, Florida, and I grew up going to their upholstery shop when I was younger. I had no idea what they were facing that entire time. When we look at the wage gap, when we look at the fact that Hispanic women make 65 cents on the dollar compared to a white non-Hispanic man, them starting their own business and capitalizing and even getting a contract with City Furniture is unbelievable and incredible. But it's something that women have been doing for centuries, and we're not actively recognizing that as a society. We need to understand why women are so successful in business. Why, compared to businesses as a whole, women are able to bring up profits by 25% compared to 11% with male-run companies. My dad's girlfriend actually owns her own medical device sales warehouse, and she gave me the opportunity when I was in college to intern for her and see everything firsthand. I wanted to do medical device sales, so it fit perfectly. I was able to see that in person in a casual setting, she was super bubbly, quirky, goofy, but in a work setting, she's laser focused, super on, making calls with government contractors all day long. I was entranced and so impressed because it shows, again, you can still be uniquely yourself. You can still be uniquely feminine. My grandma, having an upholstery business, she still does her makeup every day. She still shows up looking the way she wants to and looking like a feminine, beautiful woman. It doesn't have to be one or the other. I'm lucky to see all of this firsthand. Work in my house was meant to be fun, and I built my business on making it sustainable through having fun while I'm doing it. When I'm on my way to a showing, I'm listening to Cardi B, I'm getting pumped up. Anything that I'm doing, when I'm training my agents, we're making it a good time, because in my mind, I'm going to be working maybe for the rest of my life. And that's okay with me, because I know that the values that I bring to the table make it enjoyable. But is it hard work? Absolutely. I've sacrificed a lot of other fun things in my life, like drinking, going out, partying, all of those things. Giving into drama when it's a waste of my time, looking at other people's drama and on TV and having it infiltrate my life when they don't even know who I am. Those things used to be fun for me, but I did a 180. I shifted like I had when I needed to bring my GPA up from a 1.8 to a 3.8. I went from sitting on the lawn chair, never going to class, not taking it seriously, to sitting in the front of every single class and getting that GPA up. I almost dropped out, and when I was in that moment of thinking, should I stay in school or should I leave, I thought, my mom worked so hard for me to have this opportunity that people would kill for. My mom had set up a Florida prepaid account for me and purposely made it so that I would have that opportunity in my life. The fact that through business calls that I saw every day, with her on her phone and multitasking, it never bothered me. It showed me that she cared so much about us that she would spend that time with us and also worked on her career to provide for us. Now, I want you to think about that, because a lot of us struggle with guilt day to day as moms in the workplace. I know I do, especially when I'm on my phone and there's a client calling and the baby's screaming in the background, or I'm breastfeeding. Then I think back to my mom and think, I would never think ill of her for that. This is the reality as women. We don't always have a choice. And to think that women can just flip-flop from the hustle culture to the soft life to this on a dime because a social media TikToker or Instagrammer told you to is ignorant in my opinion, because it's a luxury that not a lot of people have.